But when I look at Tristan Jarry and the way he performed, I was much more comfortable with him in net. And that was something that I had not felt since Casey DeSmith in game one. So my question to you, Horwat, is I know this is a big if, how would a healthy Tristan Jarry have changed this series, and to what extent would that have changed this series?
We probably would have closed it out in 5.
Yeah.
I'm giving the Rangers that game 2. I'm giving the Rangers a lot of length there, saying we would have closed it out in 5, just because at bare minimum, I'm assuming we still dominate those 2 games at PPG Paints Arena. And let's say we still pick up that triple overtime winning game 1. Mm-hmm. And then I'm giving the Rangers game 2. We probably close it out in 5. You want to say they win an MSG? Fine. We close it out in 6, just because that pivotal game 6 swayed only because of Louis Domingue.
Yeah.
How many goals did he give up there? 4? 4.
Yeah. 4.
You need almost all 4 of them. Definitely the third one or the fourth one. That was just bad.
Yeah.
You need all of those to be saves. I'll give Louis 1 or 2. Fine. Guess what? You got to make those saves. Those are saves Tristan Jarry makes.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yeah.
So we definitely don't go to a 7th. I don't know if we close it out in 5. I don't know if we close it out in 6. But I'd still say we would have dominated 3 and 4, just because. I mean, we chased the possible MVP winner twice. No, we're not. That is in his head. That is thorough wins for the Penguins. I think we close that in 5 or 6 if Tristan Jarry is healthy in the series, and that's giving the Rangers their game 2. That's still taking away Rickard Rakell, Brian Dumoulin, Crosby for the rest of game 5 if you really want to.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think at bare minimum, the Pittsburgh Penguins certainly win this series if Tristan Jarry is healthy. And again, you cannot go back and change history. He did have a broken foot. He still probably played on that broken foot in game 7. But the thing is, at bare minimum, the Penguins win. I think the Penguins win this in 5 in convincing manner if it's Tristan Jarry between the pipes. You can say whatever you want. Rakell is out in game 1. Crosby goes out in the 5th game the way he did. Tristan Jarry being in that game instead of Louis Domingue, being in this series instead of Louis Domingue, the Pittsburgh Penguins would have advanced to the second round in the middle of last week. But the problem is you can't go back and change that history. You can't go back and unbreak Tristan Jarry's foot. And you can't go back and really, even heal Casey DeSmith. That's another side of this. If Casey DeSmith doesn't go down in game 1, do you think the same thing? Do the Penguins win this in 5 or 6? I know it's a much harder question, but
yeah, the DeSmith one is a little harder. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe because you figure Louis and Casey have similar styles where they're just kind of sprawling all over the place at all times. I just don't know. I really don't, because it's still Casey DeSmith. I think he injured his way out of a new contract.
Potentially.
Yeah, I think Louis, he may have played his way out of a new contract. Well, he came in and saved our asses in game 1. Game 2 was a thing. Gave up 4 goals despite the win. Gave up 4 goals in game 3. I don't know if he's going to get one next year now. Like, genuinely, I don't know if either of those two are getting deals with us next year, especially with the way this ownership's going to want to absolutely maybe clean house.
Maybe.
So those are off-season topics we'll get to, but I don't see either of them coming back now. And what's for damn sure is I don't know if Casey DeSmith would have been all that much better than Louis Domingue. I don't.
Here's what
I didn't have faith in DeSmith all season.
Yeah, and here's what I'll say. We don't have to go any deeper into this. Whenever we pivot the conversation to a DeSmith, the one thing that bothered me about Domingue, specifically once the Rangers started to recognize it and attack it, is there was one very discernible area of concern that Louis Domingue was not even attempting to hide, and that was if you shoot anything close to the body on his glove side and anyway the rest of his blocker side, he didn't trust it. He does not trust his blocker side to come up and make a save. Yeah. Hence the reason he was, as you always kept mentioning, trying two-handed saves, trying to catch the puck with 2 hands, because while we saw him make some glove saves and snag some pucks with his glove, the second it comes to the middle of his body, his other hand comes together. And that's the one discernible thing that the Rangers took notice of, and it ended up paying big dividends in game number 6. That's the thing that Casey DeSmith might not have been actually as talented. I mean, he might be a little bit more talented, but there's not a big discrepancy there. The one thing is Casey DeSmith did not have a discernible area that the Rangers could attack like Louis Domingue did. So I think the Penguins would have won if it was DeSmith. It might have taken 6 or 7 with DeSmith, but if it was Tristan Jarry to close out that discussion point, it would have certainly been over, in my opinion, in 5. And that's a guarantee. Like, I guarantee you it would have been. But again, ifs and nuts, ifs and buts and candy and nuts, the world would be whatever. That whole sentiment. But nonetheless,
Penguins would be in round 2. That's the sentiment.
Correct. Yeah, correct. But nonetheless, I do give Tristan Jarry props. I thought he had a really good game.